And it is live. Hello, hey guys, welcome to what this is. This is the Queenish episode. If you look to the okay, that side we have my special guest moderator, Ra the King. All right, talk to the people, man. Let me get you up
Boom,
here real
boom.
quick, sir.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Thanks, DC, for having me. Excited to be here. Arye the King, one half of Geek Salad. We want to have some fun tonight, man.
You guys are because I'm going to disappear into the osmos here. But before they do that, I need to get the ladies up here. Hello, ladies. I got a lot going on, but thank you guys for coming. Once again, as I said, this is something different, something near and dear to my heart, and the fact that you guys trusted me enough to come on here means so much. Ra, are you ready, my guy?
I am.
All right.
How's everybody
Here's
doing?
here's me disappearing.
Outstanding. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good.
Doing good.
That's good. Nice to meet all of you. But I figured I would set the misogynistic tone and ask you, how come y'all not cooking dinner? Like, what are y'all doing on this
What?
on this
You
podcast? Like,
fried.
who
Wow.
allowed you to be? I'm playing.
Fried.
Uh,
Oh.
Fried.
I'm gonna say that.
So
let me step back in
we
here, brother.
starting right now.
They was ready.
Please
They
don't
had the
rile up my
knives
guests
out
like
and
that.
everything. They was like, "What he say?" They was ready to stab him. But nah, seriously, glad y'all could be here. I'm really excited to hear all of you guys' stories, and we're gonna have some fun tonight.
So we're gonna start with introductions. I usually just start at the top, so please don't feel singled out. But please tell the people who you are, what it is that you do.
Sure. Hello, everybody. I'm so glad to be here. It's a pleasure to be here with you. My name is Sabrina Oso from Oso Safe. Feel safe where you live, work, and play. I'm a speaker and consultant on promoting safety and preventing violence in the workplace, schools, but in particular in your place of residence.
Thank you.
Greetings, everyone. I am Angela Marshall. I am a creative content consultant. I am a best-selling author. I'm also a public speaker around the CSRA and globally. My platform influences, it inspires, and it impacts people to live vicariously through themselves. I'm a former NFL wife, and I've had so many run-ins with people trying to live vicariously through me or through that particular lifestyle. I got tired of it. In 2017, I published my autobiography, The Story and Life of an Ex-NFL Wife, and I teach people how to live vicariously through themselves.
Hey guys, hey. I am Rika. I am the host of Eat Laugh Hustle. It's a podcast for mompreneurs. Help them to do more than just thrive, just survive. You know what I mean? Like people just really just survive in life. It's more about thriving. Ex-military, I'm a retired veteran. And what I know is that we sell ourselves short. We live in imposter syndrome and we suffer from mom guilt, and that's not how life should be living. So, my platform is all about being bold, being boss, and being confident. And that's what I like to do. I empower women that way. I also own a media company that I started when I retired, and it's just content creation and media just to serve as a platform and conduit for other Black moms who are killing the game. I love to highlight that. So let's talk.
Hey, everybody. I hope everyone can hear me. My name is Stephanie Lawson. I'm a licensed clinical social worker in North Carolina, and I am owner of the Mindfulness Space Psychotherapy Services. I work with clients to help with eating disorders and also body positivity, body image issues, and I promote healthy bodies at every size.
Hello everyone, I'm Anju. I am a former interior designer and architect, and I was a blogger But nowadays, I call myself just a survivor of domestic violence and sexual assault. And for profession, I'm a writer, keynote speaker, activist, and many things. And people ask me how I manage so many jobs. So I'm like, just the time management. That's it. So who is going the first
Hello.
now?
Hi, I'm Brooke. I just recently became a social worker with the Department of Children's Services. And as you can see, I work for the YMCA as well. That's my other part-time job. And I'm also the owner of my own clothing business, Velvet Kiss Clothing. And I also am a host of my own podcast as well, Let's Talk. So hopefully one day you guys will be on my show next and we'll have a good time. Never know. I hope so. But
I
that's
know,
all.
I know so because that's kind of what this is about too. It's also a little networking thing. So guys, feel free. I don't control anything. You guys are free to talk to each other afterwards. I will hope there are relationships built and bonds and networking and everything like that. But first, I want to give you guys this again.
Thank you.
All you guys are wonderful. And just hearing just that, actually reading some of your guys' bios, I know that you guys are amazing, which is why I'm so blessed to have you guys here tonight and to be a part of this because you guys are dope and people need to know that. So, RA,
What's
take
going
it
on?
away, sir.
All right, you guys are dope. So just to start things off, I want to know if the thing that you're focusing on right now, okay, is that what you want to do for the rest of your life, or do you have other aspirations that you want to go after?
We'll just start at the top. I'll just bring you
Oh,
guys on.
okay. Okay. Honestly, no, I don't think that's where I want to stop. Where I don't think this is my stopping point. Honestly, if I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I want to be somewhere late on the beach and be retired. If I want to be, if
Yes.
I'm gonna be
I
honest,
hear you.
but
Yes.
but I know it's I have a long time. I feel like getting to that point is gonna take a long time. So I do want to eventually, level up with the Department of Children's Services. I want my business to flourish. I definitely want my podcast to flourish. So I don't really know how to answer that question because I'm just like, it's kind of like yes and no. I kind of I like where I am, but I know I could have more. But my end goal is to not have to work at all. So
Good.
You're muted, Sabrina.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Oh, am I muted?
No,
No.
you're not anymore.
Oh, okay, okay. Uh, so the question is, would we be continuing what we're doing now into the future, right?
Well, basically, would you want what you're doing right now? Is that something that you would want to focus on forever, or do you have other things that you would want to do?
I think for me, definitely, I want to focus on my business, Oh So Safe. I think there's too many of us, and I could tell from our panel that the common thread that we have is we come from some form of either abuse or violence or chaos or dysfunction, and that's not okay, so and I feel like what we're doing at Oh So Safe, we combine education and technology to promote safety and prevent violence, and I think it's really important to get the word out, get the message out that you can live a life that is freeing, that is empowering, encouraging, positive. We all of us have a right to be safe in our homes. So I feel like it's a big project, but a necessary one, and so I could see myself doing this for. I have been doing this for a long time, and I think the work is there to continue. So I hope I answered the question.
We did.
Absolutely. I don't work because I love what I do, running my mouth and being able to share my story along with being a ghostwriter, helping people write their bios, doing resumes, writing speeches, doing slogans for companies. I mean, like, this is the best time of my life ever. And I just started it living in 2017. And I just turned 50 back in November. So
Okay.
for the last 5-6 years, I mean, I'm not, this isn't work for me. So I plan on doing this for as long as there's breath and there's life in me, because I have found my passion. And I'm just allowing that purpose to just shine bright through me. So yeah, I'm gonna ride it on out.
First of all, can we just give a shout out to Angela, who said she was 50 and black don't crack? Can we just go ahead and just
Okay.
just go? Okay. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you. For 20 years, I did what somebody else wanted me to do, all the way down from having to, wear my hair a certain way, my nails a certain way, from being in the military. I was a chief, and so I was at the highest rank, and I had to be the standard, And so if you was to ask me, like, right now, am I loving what I'm doing? Absolutely. When we talk about that freedom, for me, it's about creating a lifestyle, not just for me, but for my kids, and that it's legacy in that. And for me, like Angela said, to be able to share your story, to be able to help somebody, to make your passion meets its purpose. Like I'm here to run my mouth, hopefully make you laugh, but hopefully build you up in the end where you feel like, oh, she's so relatable, I can do it too. And I think that's what, is important for all of us to do. It's important for all of us to sit on this panel, to tell our story, but also don't be as scared to take it to the next level. So I want to do this, but I want to do it on somebody's grand stage, behind some lights and some cameras, and wake up every morning, my husband fishing, and I'm like, baby, I'll be back. I'm about to go take this show, and be okay with that. So on the grand scheme of things, yes, and let's take it bigger.
Let me unmute myself, but yeah, I agree with everybody. So as my fellow social worker, I saw her up there, and for me, with social work, it's a profession that when we went to graduate school, when we went to school undergrad, we were always told, okay, yes, we want to serve vulnerable populations, and we do. But in graduate school, some of us were told, okay, well, if you're working as a social worker, if you're working as a therapist, you can't earn a decent living for yourself. You can't make any money. You have to choose between either, helping vulnerable populations, which is wonderful, but as somebody, a minority, and somebody that did not come for wealth, I wanted that generational wealth, not only, for myself, but for my kids, my family. So it was very important to me to start my own business. So that's where the mindfulness space kind of started. It started because, I've worked 7 years in community mental health. I was burnt out. I was stressed out. I started experiencing, and we know that when we experience stress, it affects our health. I started experiencing autoimmune issues, and enough was enough. I reached the point where I had to go at it on my own and start my business. So that's for me, absolutely. I want to continue to grow. I want to continue to flourish and have that generational wealth and create opportunities for me, my family, and also for my people. That's very important to me.
I agree with all of you. Like, first of all, you all are doing amazing. And talking about me, I just started. So obviously, I'm going to do the same my whole life. So, what I have started, I've started to live for myself, to speak for myself, to share my story. And for like, I'm 30 years old, but I was never allowed to speak for myself. And I just started. I'm enjoying it. People are enjoying it. So let's do it. And I am not here to please everyone. If someone doesn't like me, it's okay. I just want to speak, speak, speak. The reason for 13 years I was not allowed. I was just talking to myself inside my brain. Finally, I am like, okay, I can raise my voice. And just before this, I finished one interview with a news channel. So I was like, I'm really doing good. I'm proud of myself. So I'm enjoying doing not just talking. By profession, also, I have my bachelor's in psychology, interior designing, and I'm a keynote speaker. So if I'm speaking, I just don't speak anything. I come up with the facts and figures, and I do a lot of research about every topic, and then I go for speaking. And I am learning. I'm a student. Yeah, that's a good thing. So I want to be a student my whole life and enjoy my life. That's my business, my passion, and my purpose.
Thank you, ladies. That
Thank you
was
for that.
awesome. I'm sorry I had to step in, RA. That was. I'm watching this, and I feel like this is a masterpiece. Like I can really say that I'm proud of this moment right here with these ladies, man. Kingish be damned, the ladies are winning. So all right, take it. Sorry, and RA was on the he was on the Kingish panel, and it was cool. But the ladies do have
They
something to
all
say.
right.
No.
They all right.
The ladies
Don't
have
get
something
your
to say.
feelings hurt. It's okay.
Yeah,
It's okay.
no, brother,
Don't
I'm
get
with
your
them.
feelings hurt.
I'm with them. You might be my moderator for the night, brother, but I stand with them.
And
Smart man.
remember this: you
It
can't
looks
win
like you are
games
scared
without
a little
win.
bit.
Yeah.
Oh, that,
If you
I
don't
can't
have
even understand y'all. All y'all coming at once. Like what's going on? I'm outnumbered.
Yeah, like
You
you
know.
are speechless right now. You're like, oh, it's better to be quiet.
Yes.
That's wow, hey. You politely told
Yeah.
me to shut up. Okay, listen, I'm all right. I'm all right with that.
If you wasn't trying to wake them kids up at 7:00 in the morning talking about some reading on the summertime.
Wow, you really gonna bring up last week? And you know what? They're used to it. It's been 4 days and they already used to it. So, in your face.
hey, readers are leaders.
That's
Yes.
it. That's
Readers
it.
are
That's what we're
leaders.
raising over here.
And
That's what we're
learners
raising
are
over here.
learners are earners.
And all those
Right,
other
brother.
rhyming phrases that rhyme, but it's true though. Stephanie, I want to piggyback on something that Stephanie said. Steph was like a phrase she used, generational wealth. And this question is to anybody. Any of you can take it. Tell me about the importance to you of generational wealth, building a legacy and something that's going to be potentially in your family for years to come. That juxtapose, that's my big word for today, that juxtapose with living a fun lifestyle currently, because we all know tomorrow is not promised. If y'all would touch on that, the battle between those two things.
I'm gonna just go in order because I'm pretty sure everybody looks eager to answer. So,
Okay, for me, like I see myself like a teenager, and I'm happy to enjoy this time. And when I'm talking to love myself, it's exploring myself, what I really want from my life. Like I tried so many things because of the people around me. They wanted me to do those things. Now, finally, I got my peace and freedom. So it's time for me to explore myself. And I'm doing it every day. And I surprise myself. That's all.
Awesome.
Okay.
Hey, I wasn't ready, but
I know that's the beauty of it.
That got me. I guess the way that I look at it is, like in my family, I don't really have a lot of entrepreneurs in my family. My family, they're okay with just going to work and, that's just being it, and I feel like me personally, I wanted to stand out. I know that didn't really answer the question, but I think I chose to just step out of that routine and really like take a chance on myself and really just see what, how far I can go and really use my abilities, because I was like, I know I have a lot of different, I'm multi-talented, and I definitely wanted to step out and really show myself for one, and show, everyone around me that I'm more than just, just a woman. I'm more than just, a Black woman. I'm more than just, just another person on the street. I definitely and I definitely want to do that same thing for when I have kids, really push them to do, to be multi-talented and really use, all your abilities, because that'll really push you, that'll really put you in really good position, in a really good position, and create a lot of good opportunities for you, for somebody, who wants to be more than just a person, I guess. So it's more than just, just going through the motions, and experiencing more and having more opportunities.
I really appreciate everybody's answers. Really, this is so great. I think it's important for all of us to not be afraid of money, of making a lot of money, of and I grew up with a lot of taboos around money, and I realized that it's okay to make a lot of money. In fact, it's your duty to make a lot of money, because the more money you make, then the more good you can do, and the more people you can help with yourself, help yourself and others. So I changed my mentality a while ago to think that way, and to say, yeah, I like with my company, Also Safe, I see this as a global entity, and I want to be a multi millionaire. Um, and the more money I'll make, the more people I could help. So I see it that way, and to have fun doing it. Absolutely. You shouldn't sacrifice one for the other. You could have your cake and eat it too, because that's what you're supposed to do with cake.
I love it.
So, yeah, I want to say that.
Now I want to eat a cake, like maybe a strawberry one.
Well, I think for me, generational wealth is defined by a variety of things. What's wealthy to you may not be wealthy, or may not be wealth to someone else. And I found that very, very true across, all walks of life. The legacy that I'm preparing to leave for my children and my 5 amazing grandsons that I have, the age ranges are 14 to 3. I want to leave them wealth of a good mindset, to be spiritually strong, to be emotionally strong, to be mentally strong, and to be just biblically sound. So then everything else that I leave them, money, materialistic things, then they can handle it a whole lot better than squandering my hard labor. I've seen it happen so many times to where, people think, well, I'm just gonna have this $2 million policy or $5 million policy, or leave this business or this company behind. But the children or whoever they're leaving it to, they don't have the mindset or the mentality. They don't have the stability. They don't have the soundness to sustain it. And it's all for naught. So for me, as I learn and as I grow, that's one of the things that I'm teaching my 2 children. I have a 34-year-old son. Well, my ex-husband and I, we have a 34-year-old son and a 32-year-old daughter. And as I mentioned before, 5 amazing grandchildren. And we're teaching them the things that no one ever taught us. Now, what I will say is I agree 100%. You have to change your mentality. You have to change your mouth. You have to change the way that you think about money, because money's not evil. Money's not bad. And to have things, especially when you've worked hard, you're supposed to enjoy the fruits of your labor. That's biblical. That's scriptural. Right. So as far as generational wealth is, I'm going to just leave my children, along with materialistic things or with tangible things, I'm going to leave them sound advice. I'm going to leave them information that they can apply, because as we all know, knowledge isn't necessarily power. It's applied knowledge. That's the power.
Yes.
I'm like, yes, 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 yes. Sabrina, Angela, y'all took all my answers. My kids, they've seen sacrifice by me serving 21 years in the military. My husband just retired out of the Army. And so there has to be a balance about money, and it's all about wardrobe and cars and all of that stuff, right? But they don't tell you how to
for a second. I'll get her back here in a second.
I'm constantly questioning my kids about what they want to do. I want them to experience life. I don't want them to be a people pleaser like I was growing up. And I can honestly say that was a trauma. I was telling my aunt, oh yeah, I want to be a mortician. Baby, when I joined the Navy, I told them I wanted to be on the dang on news. So where is mortician and news? Where do that meet up, And so it has to be the balance of that. So teaching your kids that, hey, you have to sacrifice. For every action, there is a reaction, right? But growth comes when you are you're in your most uncomfortable state. Get there. Recognize who you are when you're at that point and push. I got a son that's about to go to college, and I'm constantly telling him, push, baby, push, because your next level is just like that. It's a decision away. So I think when we sit here and we think about wealth, let's stop putting it towards money. Let's put it towards health and knowledge and not living in toxic behaviors and breaking some of those traumas that prevents us for getting the wealth that we so desire and need.
Absolutely. Yes. Yes. I mean, absolutely. What more can I say? Because I think everything has already been said, but I agree with the panel. I can speak for me personally. The question was building generational wealth and also enjoying, what you do and enjoying. And I'll speak to that from my perspective, working as a social worker, because burnout is real. I don't know if anyone has experienced burnout before, but I have. And I got to the point where I would dread, getting up in the morning. You'd be like, oh gosh, I have to do these notes. Oh gosh, I've got to, go to court tomorrow for a client, or I've got that over time it makes wear and tear on your body. So with what I'm deciding to do with the mindfulness space, I said, okay, look, I want to work. I want to, yes, have generational wealth and also be free in other ways where I'm not burnt out, where I'm not so tired, where I can help my clients and help through advocation, where I can advocate, where I can get more involved in policy work, which I also love, where I can get involved in things around my community and just have money gives us the freedom to be able to do that as well. So I agree with what the panelists said about, yes, we can enjoy what we do, we can earn money, but also enjoy our lives and not have to feel stressed out or wake up in the morning hating to go to work or hating what we do. So,
Stephanie, what was that word that you just used? Advocating. Like, I've never heard that word before. Like, educate me, sister. What does that word mean?
Advocate. Okay, so
you said advocate.
Yes.
I thought you said something else. Okay.
No.
This panel is smart. Look, I feel sorry for, and DC, I don't know how you're doing about the order. Because whoever goes last, you're not probably going to have much to say because this panel is like so dynamite. You know what I'm saying? So give yourselves a round of applause. Do that. Do that. You deserve it. You deserve it.
I got it.
Not too much. Not too much.
No, no, RA, it's not easy doing this because everybody is on top of their game. So I do try to not make somebody last, but it's like the numbers, the law of averages, it just
happens.
It just I know
somebody got to go last.
But to be honest, this is, and I know I keep saying this, but I'm gonna keep reiterating this. This is beautiful. You ladies are amazing, and all these answers are just. If we can get an Emmy for this, I'll share it with you guys. It'll be we'll just share it on the weekends. Everybody takes a turn having it at their house, take pictures with it, and we'll go from there. All right, back to you, brother.
Thank you, DC. So growing up in Norfolk, Virginia, that's where I'm from, right? The cool thing about Norfolk is there's a lot of good people there.
No,
I went to.
No,
you said what?
No, it's not.
No, it's where you from?
First of all, I was stationed in Norfolk. And if I had to see another person in their pajamas at Walmart, let's just be clear. You turn a block, you don't know what you want in Norfolk.
First of all, we're gonna address this. We're gonna address this. Okay, you could be describing any Walmart USA. Okay, people don't go to Walmart in their Sunday's best. They don't tend to do that. So don't come for Walmart. Back to what I was saying before I was so rudely interrupted. No, yo, the cool thing about growing up in Norfolk, specifically going to Northview High School, was our high school was poor. Like, I'm talking about not being able to afford air conditioning poor. So in the summertime, we going to school, you're drenched by third period in sweat. Like, that's how bad it was. But we had 3 of the teachers of the year for the state of Virginia that taught in that one high school. So on the one hand, it's poor, and we mad because like the high school down the street has a swimming pool in the good neighborhood. It has a swimming pool and it's great, but our high school, we can't even afford air conditioner. But we had like some of the best teachers in the state. I want to know what are some of the good things and also the bad things about where you're from, and how has where you're from shaped who you are today?
So I'm from North Carolina, good old North Carolina. And I would say, I'm trying to think of something good about North Carolina, but for me personally, what shaped where I'm at today is probably my experience growing up. North Carolina, well, my personal experience in North Carolina is, I didn't come from wealth. My mother was a teacher. My father, he was a construction worker. So that impacted what I do today. It impacted me caring about, my people. It impacted me wanting people and people that look like me to be able to have an advantage, to be able to, work towards improving their outcome, improving their position in life. So as far as, North Carolina, it's, it was a bore. It's not too much going on in North Carolina. So, I don't know what else to say about that. I can't really, my parents worked hard, so they did provide for me. I grew up because they worked hard, I was able to, have a middle class, safe upbringing, but I'm not sure, North Carolina is just North Carolina.
One second. I think your mic went out. Try again. No, we lost your sound. 1 second. Let me see if I can. Sorry. No, I still can't hear you. I don't know how we lost her. Nope, still nothing.
Anju,
Okay, well,
try to press Control D on your keyboard.
I think she might be on the phone. We'll come back to her. Let her work that out, and then we'll come back. We'll come back. And you're muted.
You muted. She was ready too.
Miss Moore, you muted. You muted, baby.
Okay. I forgot I muted it. Okay, so I'm from Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm actually living in Murfreesboro now, so it's a really big difference. Like when I grew up in Chattanooga, it was the best time. We always used to have like festivals. Everyone used to go skating, and then now everything has changed because now it's more shootings in Chattanooga. A lot more people are passing away because of, either like drugs or, shootings or something like that. So there's no longer festival. Well, there's festivals, but now they went up on the prices and they've changed a lot of things about it. But like I said, my time there, I had a really good time. I love my high school. Everybody knew everybody. It didn't matter what school you went to. Everybody knew everybody. What else can I say? And I think in my hometown, everybody's nicer, I think, because when I moved up here, I stand in Murfreesboro now. And it seems like it's totally different. Everybody's not as nice. And I know this another thing. I know this is a little off subject, but I noticed in my hometown is less police presence there. So that's why it's a lot more shootings there and a lot more going on there. And it's like I moved up here and it's more police presence and you see less shootings and less incidents. So that's one thing I am happy about, and I'm glad that I moved here because I could have easily, something could have easily happened to me if I would have stayed, in my hometown. So that's one thing that's changed. But I guess like on the bright side, it's a nice place to visit. The downtown area is really nice. It's a nice place to come and retire. That's what everyone says. It's a good place to retire because it's a lot of scenery. We're near the mountains. And I know it's like one thing that they always say, like we're near Lookout Mountain. So if you go on top of Lookout Mountain, you're supposed to be able to see like 5 states. That's what they say. I don't know how true that is. I didn't see anything. Everything looked the same to me. But that's what they say. It might be true. Y'all should go check it out. Definitely, if y'all ever visit Chattanooga, definitely go downtown. It's really nice.
Awesome. Can I add, before we go to the next person, can I add something?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, can you hear me?
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh, okay. I wanted to add, I didn't know if I was up. Well, I didn't see me on the screen. Okay. So I wanted to add that. So in North Carolina, because I was kind of lost for words trying to think of something like, what could I say about North Carolina? What could I say? So where I grew up, it was near the coast, near Wilmington, North Carolina, on the beach. And it was the population of Black people, minorities, was very low. I went to a high school where it was probably a handful of minorities. So so that drove me to want to go to a HBCU. I went to Elizabeth City State University and then North Carolina A&T for graduate school. And it was not until I was just kind of thinking about it. It wasn't until I was in college when I had my first Black teacher. That's when I had my first Black professor. And, and just to have that HBCU experience, I think growing up in the community that I was in, I was so happy to be connected to people like me, to people who look like me. I mean, it just felt like, oh, okay, I can relate to people. I have this sense of connection. And then with North Carolina A&T, if you know the history of that school, it just, and its roots and civil rights, it just felt right for me. And that kind of caused me, it shaped and molded who I became. So I just wanted to add that, because when you were talking with me earlier, I had to kind of get my words together about North Carolina. I'm sorry.
All of you are so great. You're so great. I love all your answers. For me, I was born in New York City, actually. I'm proud to say. I was born in New York, but my parents moved to New Jersey when I was 2.5. And uh, and my feeling is, whether you're poor, whether you're rich, whether you're middle class, whether you're white, black, Hispanic, Asian, purple, red, green, orange, it really doesn't matter, because as long as you're safe at home, that's all that counts, really. And I didn't have that growing up. My father beat my mother on a regular basis. My mother would beat me. I've had years and years of therapy to be comfortable enough to say that to a group of strangers. And I look back and I say to myself, uh, it, what matters is, if I had to change anything, it would be to live in a safe home. It didn't matter whether money, no money, whether I lived with black people, white people, Asian, it wouldn't have mattered, as long as I felt safe. So, I mean, I grew up in New Jersey, in a good neighborhood, and I'm Italian, so, and I would travel to Italy quite a bit as a kid, and my family's from a beautiful town in Italy. However, I never got to enjoy it, really, because I only remember the fighting, the beatings, I remember the violence, and now that I go back, I see Italy for what it is, and it's a beautiful country. I see it for the fashion, for the food, for the people. So when you grow up with abuse, it's like a cloud. It's like, you're in a fog and you don't see things the way they are. So I hope I answered the question. I feel like, if you just remove the abuse, then you could see clearly, and anywhere that you grow up, it's okay, as long as that abuse is not there. So that's how I feel, anyway.
So I am originally from Augusta, Georgia, home of the Masters. For those of you who are golf fans, I will say this: I'm tri-coastal now, which is awesome, because one of the things that I've always wanted to do, in addition to just speaking, is travel, and so I get to do that quite a bit. Well, pre-COVID, I got to do it more than obviously than what I'm doing now. I will say though, growing up in majority African American home, especially as fair as my complexion is, I was I had a lot of questions, and I was really really confused and mixed up and angry about a lot of things. I had older cousins that would pick on me, that would say I was adopted. I didn't belong in the family and all that kind of stuff. I write about it in my book, The Story and Life of an Ex-NFL Wife. I talk about it because it's therapeutic for me. And I have to attribute my success now to my fourth grade teacher, who saw my acting out when I would be like the class clown, or I would, pick fights or start things or whatever. She's the one who honed in my storytelling abilities and was like, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to write essays for the class. So I want you every day at the end of the day, I'm going to give you 4 minutes and I want you to entertain us. So instead of, her labeling me, as we often do, as a bad child or someone who's just disruptive, she saw something good. She knew my story. She saw something good and she started planting those seeds in me. And so it is actually because of her. And I mean, like the many interviews that I've done, different articles that are that I'm able to talk about myself. I'm giving accolades to her. Her name is Mrs. Susie Smith. She was my 4th grade teacher located in Augusta, Georgia. And honestly, if it wasn't for her and taking something in this little mixed up brain of mine and mixed up head, because I just, didn't really know. I felt like that awkward puzzle piece, I guess. Didn't know where I fit. Didn't have, I grew up, my mom didn't have my mom or my dad. My mom actually dropped me off with her parents and then she went gallivanting around the world. So I am very, very blessed and thankful to Mrs. Susie Smith, who actually inspired the writer, the storyteller, and just for me to be able to be transparent and write about my life with ease now, because I used to be really angry about a lot of things, but now you see that choose you in 2022. So now that I'm able to choose me, it's just so much better for me. So that's how I got my start in Augusta, Georgia, through my 4th grade teacher, Mrs. Susie Smith.
Woo! Well, let me tell you guys, I don't necessarily think that it has anything to do with where you grow up at, far as like the state. And I'll explain why. I was born in Atlanta, Georgia. Ended up joining the Navy from Cleveland, Ohio. And so that's a big spread there, What I will tell you also is that I was, born to an alcoholic mom, who at the age of 6 would then go to a foster home, stay in a foster home from ages 6 to probably about 8 or 9. A social worker, my heart goes out to genuine social workers who care about kids, recognized my name on a file, and contacted my grandmother. And my grandmother was like, you gotta contact my daughter because I'm too old. And my Aunt Cheryl took me in. And that's how I got to Cleveland, Ohio in a overnight. And they put me on a plane. And so that little girl has always been trapped, in the inside. And it wasn't until I became a mom that I understood what loving a person truly meant. And so the mom that I am, the person that I am, always smiling, because if you've never had to eat out of a trash can and a dumpster, and know that, hey, I got to walk here at the age of 4 and 5 and can remember this. If you never had to help your mom up the steps with a bloody nose because she's tripped on the wrought iron, steps trying to go home at night and still remember those thoughts, it changes you at a young.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to say, number one, she's an amazing mom. And I am an amazing mom because I know what lacks when you don't have that mother figure. And my aunt, she did amazing. I am, she taught me to clean. She taught me this, but I wasn't her child, and there was a difference there. And when you get older, you start recognizing there was a difference in the household. And so it wasn't so much my surroundings in Ohio, because I had a good childhood. I didn't truly want for anything, but I always yearned for more, You get what I'm saying? And so, and because of that, that's why I'm all about teaching women that through, pain comes purpose, and recognizing that there's more in you, and just in sitting in that though, and not rushing past those feelings. And so, don't hold on to those things as if it's the worst thing that could have ever happened. Don't let it define you. She was an alcoholic. I wasn't. I didn't drink to the age of 25 because I thought alcoholism was hereditary. I didn't know that my mom was alive until the age of 20 when I was living in Hawaii. They found her on the streets. And that taught me faith, because I can remember also as a little girl praying every night that, Lord, if my mom is still alive, protect her. And if she is, have to die, please don't let it be a harmful one. Please don't let her be in pain. And so from a young age, I had that in me. And I teach my kids that. I teach my kids faith, and I teach my kids compassion, but I also teach my kids to love wholeheartedly, right? And they know that I'm going to, them right there, for, So it's not where you grow up. It's the love and how you interact, and how you, definitely don't let it define you. Take it and learn from it.
Yeah.
I said I wasn't gonna jump on screen, but I have to at this moment. I want to thank you guys. Like, really, truly take a moment to appreciate the honesty, the open, and as my co-creator of this series said, that transparency is just real. Like, you guys are being so honest and so real, and that's kind of what this whole series is about, is just the feeling of being safe and being honest, not only with yourself but with the viewers, because I can tell somebody's story, but it doesn't mean anything if it's not coming from the source. So I'm trying to, because I'm not gonna lie, I was back here trying to hold back tears. You guys are just so awesome and so great, and just so real that it's hard for me to keep my composure. That's why I know I said we're gonna jump on screen, because it's not about me, but it's about you guys. But you guys are phenomenal. Phenomenal. Sorry, as I get choked up. And let me get Brooke back in here. There you go. You guys are so amazing. I just have to keep being honest. You guys are so great. But I'm gonna get back out of here, and I'll put Ari back on here. Here you go. Thank you, sir, for letting me take over your show for a second. It's all yours again.
mean, I'm just okay. I was playing.
Remember who signs the checks? Nobody.
Yo, so the last speaker is it Rika or Reka?
Rika.
Rika?
It's Rika. Yeah, it's really Shan Rika. But because, I was born in the 80s. So it was like Eureka's Castle and Shaka Khan. And I just think she just threw that thing all together. I think they was playing cards, and they was like, you know what? Let's do it. You know what? This is cold. This is a cold
all the mute
right here.
On all the mutes at her microphone at this very moment. Just mute it. And it's funny because he was coming at Norfolk all sideways when he was stationed down here. But then you gonna say something inspirational to get me back on your side. You know what? No.
That's how it works.
That's how they do it. It's manipulation is what it is. That's the word.
No,
all right, so check this out. I want to stir the pot up just a little bit. I want to stir the pot up a little bit. So I believe that, well, first let me say this. You can't cut on social media, whether you're talking about TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, without men saying women ain't this and women ain't this and women ain't this, without women saying men ain't this, men ain't that, men ain't this, right? So it's like the sexes are really like going at it. Me personally, I think we could do better on both sides. But I'm harder on the men because I feel like men should give more. You know what I'm saying? It's like whatever your woman gives, I feel like as the man, you should take pride in giving more. You should take pride in being a protector, being a provider, going above and beyond, being the best version of yourself for your wife, for your children, what have you. What is a belief that you have that may be kind of controversial? And we're going to throw that out to the panel.
I don't know who wants to go first, but since I'm just going in order, Miss Rika, you're up.
Oh man, this is the first time I ever went first. I usually can think about it.
You're welcome.
Oh, well, thanks. You know, all this.
That's a hard one.
You know,
It is a hard one.
It is a hard one. Let me tell you what I have a problem with, and I don't know if it's necessarily controversial, but my issue, and I don't know if it's necessarily an issue, but what I have a great disdain with is men getting on platforms with microphones and backdrops, telling women what an inconsistent is, and you shouldn't stay with them because of this, and don't be with a man if he ain't gonna try to give you A, B, and C, and and if a man this is narcissistic behavior, and women respect yourself a little bit more and have enough class to not let this man walk over you. But I have an issue with that is because the same way that you trying to gather us women and tell us all the things that a man, not allow this man to do to us. Why don't you gather them same men and tell them how not to be inconsistent? Tell them how to show up in the home, how to lead, right? How to let the woman truly be the neck and guide. I do have an issue with that, and I'm seeing it a lot more, especially on TikTok, because it's these short form videos that's coming out, and I'm just wanting to say, baby, who are you? Step back and look inwardly.
And be humble.
I think that's right. It's enough women that I think we can gather our own, right? I don't think there's enough men that's sitting back creating an avenue for other men to come in a space and be vulnerable.
Right.
Because they do have to stay there and be the provider all the time. There's never a platform when they have dad guilt, because that's a real thing, right? They suffer from imposter syndrome too. And I know because I have a husband, but I'm there to support him at every level. But yeah, that was kind of long, drawn out. My apologies, panel, but that thing just burns me up.
It's true. It's true. Yeah, I agree. Just to kind of piggyback off of that, and I don't know when it came about. It's always existed, but on social media, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all the different spaces, I've noticed that. And I started to notice it around, I want to say 2012. I don't know if it's existed before then, but there's been a space, and people have discovered that it's profitable to make Black, and the reason I say Black women is because most of the videos that I've seen have been talking about Black women. But it's been profitable to make Black women the focus of conversation for whatever reason. I don't know why the focus is on Black women in particular, and not on Black men, or and what the panelists said, them being vulnerable, talking about things that pertain to them. But it's definitely toxic conversation out there that is not helpful for us as a community.
I mean, you can see how when bless his little heart, but when I can't even think of his name, but everything was high value man this and high value woman, and that became
Kevin Samuels.
Oh yeah.
right. And it became, first of all, I had never heard of the guy, and then kind of went down this rabbit hole, and it was like, holy, moly, like we at a certain point we have to stop,
That was Kevin Samuels from Beyond trying to stop.
The ghost of Kevin Samuels cut her off.
He was like, you gonna stop besmirching me.
I hate you, DC.
Sorry.
She was making some points too. You can tell by her face right now. She was making
that was the thing. She was making good points, and brother was like, I got one more trick up my sleeve. We'll see if we can get her. There she goes. You
muted.
I'm still here. God was like, just calm down. So I'm just going to digress. I digress. That's going to be my last thing. I digress.
I digress. Bring the shoulders in. Shoulders is up. Bring shoulders down.
I did a TEDx talk 4 years ago, and the title of it is "If You're a Victim of Home Violence, Don't Leave, Stay." And people said, why would you say that? Why would you say that? What are you talking about? Stay. And my whole premise is, and this is what I built my company on. Once you enter a real estate contract with someone, you're living with someone, whether it be a rental or whether you own a home or whether you're in a building, wherever you live, when you put that key in the lock, you should feel like it's home and not hell. You should feel like it's your sanctuary and not a war zone. So if anyone that should leave, it should be the abuser, whoever that abuser is. So, and I built my business on this, where we're looking to change the face of residency, where safety becomes a required standard condition of residency across the board. So, and this was controversial at first from people, and then I explained myself, and they said, that's true. Why should the victim leave? Whether that victim is male or female, it doesn't matter. A victim is a victim. And as I've said for many years, it doesn't matter the gender that the abusive hand is. Abuse is abuse. It's horrible either way, whether you're male or female. So I like to say, yeah, you should stay. Don't leave. It's the abuser that has to go. Why should you, and if you have children, why should you leave, uproot the kids, run around like a refugee when it's the abuser that should leave? So that would be something that we have been changing in the real estate industry. So it's a belief that I've had for quite some time. It's definitely controversial, but if you think about it, it's how it should be. So that's my 2 cents worth.
So I actually have 3 things that I have a lot more, but for the sake of time, for the sake of time, the first thing is, not all men are dogs. I get so tired of our sisters and whoever else that says that, because as you think, so shall you align with. So no, you're drawing doggish men your way because you're saying all men are dogs. 2, all women are not crazy. Again, as you think and as you speak, you are going to attract, you are going to align with crazy women. Okay. So no, we are not. The third thing that is near and dear to my heart, and I just did a seminar on this, and I always kind of get, well, I'm not going to say that, but for people to say that when men get in a position of power, whether it's professional athletes, celebrities or whatever, they want a woman who is lighter than a brown paper bag. I take offense with that because I see the um, the ethnicities that these men, you know, whether they are investors or they're tax accountants, they're lawyers, they're preachers, they're football players, they're basketball players, whatever. I'm intertwined with a lot of them. And that's absolutely not true. One of the things that I hate is how the media, social media, and so many other outlets perpetuate their stories and their narratives. And then you have weak-minded people who actually believe, oh, well, so-and-so said all men are dogs and they surveyed 100 women. You didn't survey me, so you didn't factor me into that. All women are crazy. Who did you survey? All men, you know, they go with someone, or they get somebody who's lighter than a brown paper bag. Absolutely not true. So to me, all of those things are very, very controversial. And if you absorb what the media says, you'll be crazy. As a person who actually was in with the celebrity life, like the stuff that I heard about us, the stuff that I heard about my husband. Now, don't get me wrong. Some of the things are true. I'll tell you if it's true if you ask me. I have no shame in my game and no remorse, because all of this, you know, is a part of my journey and a part of my path. We were not perfect people. We're not perfect people. However, the stuff that you hear in the media, I'm telling you now, I don't care. And I'm probably going to step on some toes out there in the land. CNN, Fox, all of it sucks. What you need to do is you need to strengthen your mind, and you need to start thinking for yourself. And the other piece is that if there's something that you're so diehard about and it kind of, you know, jolts your spirit, you gotta really ask yourself why. You know, like, why do I really believe all men are dogs, all women are crazy, all men go after brown or women, you know, maybe they get in a position of power and then they, you know, they switch ethnicities as well. I just firmly believe in you love who you love. You align with whoever you want to align with, and no one should be judged because of it, period. So those are just a few controversial. Hey, y'all want to talk offline after this or later on? Y'all call me up. I got a bunch.
Yo, I want DC, before you go to the next panelist, I actually want to push back a little bit on Angela. God. Dope points you made, a lot of dope points, but I will have to disagree with one thing.
If you say women,
go ahead.
No, I was about to say, because if you say that crazy woman one,
there's no reason to disagree on that, because we all know that's definitely not true.
Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth.
All women are crazy. I'm sorry. Look, I will say this.
So this will be the last time we have RA here, y'all.
Listen, I'm going out with draws on fire if this is gonna be my last time. Okay, we burn it all down. No, seriously.
Hey, now, brother, you burn your things down. I like what I have over here. It's nice stuff.
I got my finger on the button. It's too late. My finger's already on the button. This is the last. No, look, so a couple of different things can be true. I have this conversation with my friends a lot, man. I think you should love who you want to love, right? Whether that person is of a different race, a different religion, different ethnicity, what have you. Love who you love. But this is the thing. Two things can also be true at the same time. While it's fine, love who you want to love, the best thing for the Black community is for Black people to marry other Black people. Point blank. And the reason, this is the reason. Marriage is not just about love. It is chiefly about love, but it's also about finances. It's about group economics, and it ties back to what we were talking about earlier, leaving a legacy, you know, generational wealth. Part of the reason why Black people aren't as further along as we could be is because our bank accounts ain't matching what certain other groups' bank accounts is, right? One way to change that is us.
Zeros, though. I think it's mentality.
One way to change that is us coming together, appreciating ourselves, loving ourselves, and keeping the money within our community. Well, how do you keep the money in your community if as soon as you get to a certain level of status or whatever, you want to go and run to another race? You know what I'm saying? You can't do that. So I agree with you in that most Black people, regardless of how successful they are, end up marrying other Black people, most of it. However, Black men and Black women to a certain degree do tend to date outside the race. You see it a lot when people reach a certain level of success and a certain level of having money in their bank account. it doesn't always, it's not as a whole, but it happens enough to where it is an issue. It happens enough to where it is an issue. So just the same way, one moment, sister. The same way you could say that most black men aren't in prison, most black men are not in prison, but it's enough of them in there that we know the prison industrial complex and the way that black people are policed in this country is an issue. And it's the same thing with interracial marriage. It's an issue, even though most black people are going to end up marrying black people.
All right, Dr. Umar.
I'm gonna get
Well,
you.
I agree from the standpoint of the love, but it's all about alignment. Like I didn't fall for my ex-husband. Just to give you a little bit of background, I met him when we were in high school. I wasn't we call them latchkeys, or a latch on. I wasn't a latch on after he reached a certain amount of stardom and fame. I met him in high school when he drove a 1978 Grand Prix that leaked rain on me. So like my eyes were not, hey, I'm going to marry this man and he's going to go to the NFL and we're going to have XYZ. It's all about alignment. I had whatever he was looking for, and he had at the time whatever I was looking for. So I think that, people, to me, people speak about love as if it's this all-encompassed, it's got to be blissful and it has to be this, this match, in which it does to a certain extent. But I think alignment, because now, like the person that I date now, I'm with him because we're aligned mentally, physically, spiritually, socially, financially, culturally, biblically, every way possible. Like we have those conversations just to make sure that, we're still going to argue and we're still going to have discord and disagreements. But I'm a firm believer in not being unequally yoked. And that's in everything. That's partnerships, relationships, friendships, and kinships. There are even some family members that I will admit that hey, how you doing? But as it relates to giving them my time and my energy and access to me, I don't do it because we're not aligned. And I'm just not going to have that friction and that chaotic energy in my life. I don't have to do that. It's a choice. Just like it's a choice, if they want me and their energy. But I think relationships is all about alignment. So, I mean, I've heard that before as far as people think, to go to the next point as far as like the Black community, the bank accounts are different. Well, the mindset is different. So, of course, if you have a poverty mindset, you're going to have poverty. I mean, it's just that simple. And I mean, for the ones that I know that I'm not gonna really say disconnected myself from, because anytime people try to link with me to, because they want to know what I know and how I've acquired what I've acquired aside from my ex, because what I've built for the last 7 years has nothing to do with my ex-husband's money, has nothing to do with his, the football or anything. It's all me working from ground zero and building it up. And I'll do that. But what I hate is when a person, is trying to get information from you. I'm the expert, supposedly, because I've done this or that. And you're saying you want to know what I know, but then you don't want to do what I've done. That's one of the things that I admire about Denzel Washington and so many others when they talk about, if you want to do what I've done, or you want certain results, you have to link arms and you have to latch on to those that are going where you want to go. And sometimes, that's not your cousin, or it's not, your homegirl that may be in your community or in your family or whatever. So, I mean, I don't think that I'm at a disadvantage because I didn't grow up with a silver spoon in my mouth. Matter of fact, I talk about in my book how I didn't even realize that living with my grandparents, I was actually in poverty. But because I didn't miss a meal, no lights were turned off, I had clothes, I had, love in the household that I grew up in, I had no clue. So I didn't come from wealth. I didn't come from, this baseline of money and whatever. And I'm not there now. Like I have to work for what I have. But I'm smart enough to know that my mentality like one of the other ladies touched on very early in the interview, where she said we got to change our mindset about wealth and about money. Whoever that person is, you got to change your mindset about wealth and about money. That's how I see it. So if there's this, off balance with bank accounts, probably need to check your mentality about it.
I just want to add this as well. Like my girl Tina Turner say, what love got to do with it? I think there's this misconception that just marrying Black is the way that we come up. No, it's not. The way
That was Dr. Umar Johnson that cut her off that time.
Oh, no.
$1 trillion that is going around, and we will go give our money to other companies. We'll pay other luxury companies money, but we won't pay it to the next person that's next to us making those luxury items. That has nothing to do with marriage. Unity, we come together as a people, us buying Black, us, taking our communities, us building schools in our communities and hospitals, even in our field of content creation, virtual assistants, loan signing agents, all of those type of jobs you don't really hear, us doing, but those are the type of jobs that we need to be in, because those are the type of jobs that our people need to see us in, right? When we are signing those loan documents to make sure that we're not getting ripped off. I mean, there's so many other things, but I don't think that it has to do because I married Joe Blow Schmo over here. Now, my husband is Black and I loved him to death, and I love Black love, but I don't think that because other people marry outside of the race, that is what brings our community down. It's not. What brings our community down is your lack of knowledge of financial literacy, that you selling off grandma's house that she just gave to you, and that she passed down, that she had to work cleaning other people's houses to pay for, and you sold it just so that you can make a buck. Mm-hmm. Like it's things like that.
Or you want to invest in those Jordan shoes and everything else, but you don't want to invest in anything that's going to give you any type of residual income. You know what I mean? It's just, we could talk about this topic and this subject for days upon days upon days. I'm sure everybody has, their own ideas about it. But I really feel like when you're talking about a poverty mindset, and I'm not talking about all across the board, but from what I've seen, where people put their money, they actually shouldn't. And so they're broke, because it's like, you don't have a life insurance policy, but little Pookie and little Ray and little Jonathan got the latest Jordans and the latest KDs and whatever else on. But then, when somebody dies, you're doing GoFundMe, PayPal me for funeral expenses and stuff like that. Right. I don't want to botch up Jay-Z's lyrics, but he says something about forget living rich to die poor or something like that. At some point, enough is enough. Like, you really have to put things into perspective. And for me, and I'm not going to even say that the balance teeters, because I have friends and I have associates and I have clients and connections and networks of all ethnicities. And it's all about here. It's all about, how rich they are mentally with where they want to be. I'm not going to say my Black friends are worse than my white friends, or my white friends are worse than my, nope. Because I know it's all about how they think up here. It's all about the knowledge and the applied knowledge.
Yes, not only a poverty.
Can I just say this one thing real quick? Sharika, just to piggyback on what you were saying, you're correct. It's not Black people marrying other Black people is not what's going to fix the Black community in and of itself. But that is one of the maybe 10 or 15 things that will improve us. Think about what you said. Spending Black, right? Going to that place that's right next to you that is Black owned and patron their business. Well, that's group economics. Where's the first time you see group economics? You see it at home. My wife and myself had done more together than we ever did apart. We actually have a few investment properties. So there's been things that we've been able to do corporately that we wouldn't have been able to do individually. So you're talking about now money funneling back through the Black community, funneling through the Black family. And to be honest, it's not even anything different that Jewish people are not doing, or Asian people or Italian people are doing. They do the same thing. It's just we talk about it, you hear about it more, but it's no different than any other group. So it's that we sit together. Again, love who you're going to love. I'm never going to down somebody because they, you love somebody of another race. Do what you're going to do. But again, two things can be true. It's best for the Black community, for Black people to stay with Black and keep the money within our community. But also, you can love who you want to love on the individual level. You know what I'm saying? So both of those things are true.
Well, Ari, it's hard to keep anything because every time we get a place where, we don't build it up to be, somebody has to come tear.
I don't know what happened.
I'm sorry. I hate to hear. Go ahead, be more. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, I agree with Angela. I feel like it's a mindset thing. Because I kind of grew up the same way. Not really having much at one point in time. And so I think me personally, like, materialistic things don't mean a thing to me. Like, I don't have to have those things, and I'm just like, I can spend my money on something more important. And I feel like too, it's a mindset thing because people are so wrapped up in what, influencers are doing and celebrities are doing. And so they feel like they want to be able to match that same lifestyle. But these same people, those, people who don't have money like that, they're spending their money on like what, crab legs and, $1,000 trips, but all that money, like she said, all that money could have went into you investing into something more important that can be, so then you have a consistent income coming in and you can, eventually level up to, influencer's life or a celebrity's life, and that's what type of mindset I'm in now. I'm just like, well, I'm trying to get up out of here. You know what I mean? Like, I'm good where I am now, but I do want to have more. I definitely want to have property. I definitely want to have, another car, and definitely have some way for more money to come in. And so that I can do, because what I told you, I said, I want to be somewhere on the beach. That's where I want to be. So I'm just like, I can't do that unless I work and I create, steady income. I'll never get there unless until I start, working and really investing in myself and investing in my life.
Well, one thing that you said, be more as far as like what the celebrities have and the influencers and social media top dogs and gurus and stuff. And I'm sure you guys know this already. You get that stuff for free, but the people on middle class and lower class, they're paying for it.
Right.
Like they're
exactly
robbing from the babies or from the household or whatever to pay, to wear or to go or to drink or to do whatever that these celebrities are getting for free. And the last thing
and guess what? They still got to work to get to be able to get those things for free.
Absolutely,
live that type of life. You have to work, and people don't get they don't see that part. They see the the lavish part, and they get to see the good side of things. They don't see the stuff that's off the camera. They don't get to see everything they have to do to get to that point.
Yeah, that is true. And last thing I want to add is I know we talk a lot about buying black owned. I mean, I've seen that so much, especially during COVID, the pandemic. Black owned. People feel the need to put that out there. I'm gonna buy where the quality is. I mean, that's just how I am. I'm sorry. I've dealt with people from, again, all walks of life. And I mean, if you don't have good customer service, your products are trash, your, just your interaction with your, what you're trying to sell me or what the service that I'm trying to get from you, I don't care what you are. I'm going to spend my money where I know my money is going to, one, be appreciated, but two, I'm getting the quality items that I want. And that ranges from different things. A whole lot of a whole lot of things. Now, with that being said, I will say what I have started doing is I've started being more conscious of these bigger corporations. Like I've started researching where their money funnels to. So if I'm purchasing something from them and they're funding a group that is against me, they don't get my money, and what I've done is, I've packed up a bunch of stuff and just taken it to Goodwill. Like, I will not wear it. I will not promote it on my body, or purchasing different things. But I don't just buy something just because it's black owned. I think that on one hand, people are saying, racism and segregation and, all this other kind of stuff. But then on the other hand, you're throwing out black on, black on, black on, black on, black on. And don't get me wrong now, because I want to support whomever is trying to make a living and trying to make a life for their dream and their purpose. And that's what I'm going to do. But I don't see, a particular restaurant or hotel or whatever, just because, I'm not just gonna just make all of my plans around something that's black owned.
I was gonna say I agree with that, because I feel like people really depend on credibility, someone's credibility, and knowing that like all these name brands, for sure that you're gonna get what you asked for and what you ordered. You're gonna get your money's worth, and I think it's kind of harder to trust someone that just got their business started, and aren't as known, as these name brand things. So I feel like it's just harder to trust. And you're like, well, I don't know if, like you said, like the customer service, you never know what type of customer service you're going to get. You never know how long something's going to take for you to, how long it's going to take for you to get whatever you ordered. Is it going to look the way that you wanted it to look? Is the person going to give you a refund if you want a refund? Because there's certain places that don't do refunds. It's certain places that don't care about, as long as they get their money, they don't care about you and care about, your whatever you ordered, and I think that's why a lot of people are, they just stick with what's safe and not, going outside of the box and trying new places and trying black owned because of, because a lot of times I think it's just like that one time, you had a bad experience with a black owned business, and then now you're just like, oh no, well, I'm just gonna stick with what I know. I'm gonna stick with the safe option.
Well, even just to add on to what Angela said, even when you're having, those people that come in, these luxury brands, we as Black people are forgiving to some of these brands who are funneling money to the prison system, who are definitely doing, blackface.
Halfway.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry.
That's okay. I'm just saying They are.
It's the truth, though. It's the truth.
They're doing it, and then it's just like, oh well, I still want to be in Gucci, and I still want to do this. And it's just like, wow, that's where we are as a people, And so I think it has to be a balance on how we support our community, but it's got to be quality over quantity.
Yep. Right. Absolutely.
I just want to say, speaking to what you guys are talking about, I didn't get my first robe till I was about 20, like a couple weeks ago. This is because I want to say this, because this has nothing to do with anything. I just need to state this. The quality of things that when you don't know growing up, you don't realize some of the luxuries, like having a robe or, just being able to do the things that you see other people do. Yeah, because I grew up in Akron, Ohio. Not the greatest place. Love it. But there's things looking outside the world that you be like, man, I didn't know these things existed. To still hear these stories and to hear where you guys come from and where you guys are going is important, because every walk of life makes a difference. I know so many people are going to be able to hear this and learn and think about what you guys are saying and really take it to heart, because there were really valid points on all sides that are being made, so much that I kind of want to do this again one day with this same panel, just because just the conversation here has been, sorry, I'm trying to do so many things. Okay, there I am. The conversation here has been so great. RA, you're an amazing moderator, brother. I'll say
Thank you,
that
sir.
first. I'm not gonna give you a clap. You don't deserve that yet. You haven't earned it. Pavlov's dog says you have the condition. No, I'm just playing. But no, man, you are great. Great choice. I kind of, like I said, this series is near and dear to my heart because it's not a regular episode. It's not the norm for the brand, but it's something I felt was important. Just the same, to have a panel of people from different walks of life with different point of views be able to come together, and like you guys have done, there's not been any, name calling, mudslinging, any negativity. It's all been positive. It's all been productive. And I just want to thank you all. I'm getting emotional here. I'm not gonna do that.
It's okay, brother.
You got it.
Be emotional. It's okay.
I'm very in tune with who I am. I'm a Sagittarius, so I walk both sides of that emotion. It's just more on the who scoffed it. What the? Is there Sagittarius slander in the room? Anywho,
My apologies.
He's a troublemaker, man. You got to watch that one.
I know it's cool, but you ladies have been awesome. Beyond my wildest imagination of this coming together. Like, you have a plan, and you have a vision, and sometimes that vision is just a home run. It's amazing. It's, first of all, give yourselves a hand because you guys are wonderful, talented, successful ladies who are just, I consider now, because, and here's the funny thing about this, I've never met anybody until today. So I have this thing where I don't have any preconceived notions. I don't go into anything with a feeling or thought like, oh, it's gonna be horrible or anything like that. With RA, I do, but it's a different story. He deserves it.
You some of it.
It's funny because it's true. But oh, he left. Okay. No. But no. Sorry. But you guys are pillars to me. When I don't want to say chose because that just sounds like not the perfect word. When I approached you guys to do this, I felt a calling that this would be amazing. The stories, the openness, the realness is part of the reason why this works. It doesn't work if you're not honest with yourself first, because people will realize that. I told y'all I suck at giving speeches. But you guys are amazing. You guys are truly amazing at what you guys do in conveying who you are. And not many people can do that without feeling vulnerable, or without feeling drained. You guys are bubbly. You guys are amazing. Like, I can't say that enough. So I'm gonna keep heaping these praises even after this. When I email you guys or interact with you guys, I'm gonna tell you again: 1, thank you, and 2, don't ever change, because who you guys are is awesome. I kind of want to close out just because I want to leave it where it's at. It has to be done again this same way. I don't know if Ari is going to be here because he's on the fence. He's
No, we want him. Bring him
We
back.
want Ari. He got to come back.
okay. All right, never mind. Okay, all right. Hey, the people have spoken. I am a man of the people. If one thing I am not is going against the grain. So RA, the ladies will save you. You better thank them right now. Thank the ladies, RA. There we go.
What?
I think that's his thinking.
So you
Very
did.
regal, but okay,
Sorry, you
whatever. But no, RA, you were amazing. And I'm not one to not tell you, man, thank you. Brother, you were amazing. Love what you did today. The ladies love you, and what you did, so they actually want you back. So you got saved. You were right there next to Keenan.
Appreciate
And,
you.
Good Burger. You was on the chopping block, but you got saved. So you live for another day. But no, it's all about, for me, and again, it's not about me, but to really be open. I started this show 2 years ago, and it was just really just to prove that I could do it. And it's kind of evolved to a point to where now I'm doing things that I wouldn't have thought I was going to do in 2 years, at least doing this. And being in the position I am in and not knowing what to do with, the only thing I know how to do is, one, work, and two, share it with great people, to give them a chance to speak freely and to be themselves, because that's really what it's all about. Just being able to have a place where the conversation is not being swayed to fit a narrative or to push my agenda, because it's not my place. Like I said, I wanted you guys to be able to speak freely, tell your story, and be yourselves, and I think we accomplished that tonight. Again, if we win an Emmy for this, it's y'all's and not mine. I'll keep it at my house because it's kind of like all of ours, but in reality, it's you guys. It's people like it's ladies like you and the guys who come on here that make this show what it is. It makes it special. It makes it something worth having. I'm gonna shut up now because I want you guys to tell people where they can find you, how they can get in touch with you, and any last words of encouragement or just anything for the people before we get out of here tonight. We'll start with Miss B. Moore.
You muted.
I'm muted. Sorry, I keep forgetting.
It's all right.
Okay. You can find me on Facebook, and I was gonna say some advice is open your mind up. Stop being so narrow-minded. open your mind up to new ideas and new things, and definitely change your mindset and change the way that you, like we've been talking about, change the way you think about money and the way you think about wealth. And yeah.
Oh, it's on me. Yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. Oh, so I like the conversation. Some advice I have, just, hearing the stories from the ladies and talking about how they've been through past trauma, but yet did not allow that to define them. And I think that's good advice, not allowing what you've been through to define where you're going. So
sorry, I didn't mean it. You were going. I'm
yeah.
a little anxious. I'm jacked. I get excited in these moments because
Okay, so I'm on Instagram at the Mindfulness Space Therapy NC, and my website is the Mindfulness Space therapy.com. I'm also on Facebook, which is the same handle, the Mindfulness Space Therapy, and TikTok. So yep.
First, I want to say thank you so much for putting this together. I learned a lot, which is what I set out to do every single day. I don't know what happened to Anju. But
we lost her.
Okay, yeah, but what she said earlier when she said she's a forever student, I think that's something that we all should strive for. I think that growth and evolution is one of the things that will definitely get each of us to the place wherever that is and whatever that is in life. I want to leave you with each one of you with two things that has helped me in my journey. The first one is when you define yourself, other people can't confine you. The second one is success is a dish served only to the bowl. So live vicariously through yourself. I'm on every social media platform known to man. For those that are Googlers, if you just Google Angela Marshall, you could do the story and life of an ex-NFL wife, or you could do Angela Marshall, Augusta, Georgia. Quite a few of my links and my website should pop up. And again, thank you so much. This platform is amazing. I'm looking forward to connecting and just definitely linking with you ladies. I don't believe in fostering links that are one and done. So prayerfully, I will get to link further with all of you at some point. And I think we've already started that alignment. So I'm very humble and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everybody. Darius, thank you for inviting me to do this with everyone that you have on this platform. This was so great. I don't know what happened to Andrew, but like we said, let's stay connected. I definitely want to stay connected with all of you. I could be found on, I have my TEDx talk out there, but my website is ososafe.com. I am on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok I'm working on, and Instagram. And I want to leave you with, you have the right to be safe in your own home. Just because you are a parent, it doesn't give you the right to abuse your kid. And that we have to know what it feels like and what it means to be in a good relationship. I think that's really important for all of us, to practice safety, to practice positivity, empowerment, encouragement, which I think we all did in this whole time span that we spent together. So thank you so much. I want to stay connected, really.
Well, man, I just want to say, when you first put this out, I don't even think that I even imagined it to be this amazing panel. I just know I was just like, "Oh, DC, can I come on?" And you said, "Absolutely." And you tagged me in, and that was that. And so I'm just like humble and grateful for the opportunity to just be on a panel with phenomenal women, that can hold their own. A bit of advice that I will give is just a couple of things. I have it right here on my vision board. I kept looking back. And it says, "Let me not grow weary in doing good, for in due season I shall reap." And that's for somebody who feels like they're working towards something, they're toiling, and they feel like, man, they don't know if they're doing it in vain. Baby, in due season you shall reap. Harvest time must come. So continue to sow and sow and sow. And when it's harvest time, believe me, you shall be blessed. We talk about so often about hustle, hustle, hustle. It has to be a balance in that. And I always like to end my show like this. It's two things that they can't knock, and that's God's grace and your hustle. Be blessed. I can be reached on Instagram, Facebook. Follow me at Eat, Laugh, Hustle. You want to be a guest, drop in there, click the link, or you just want to say hi, sneak in. I'm always in my stories. But that's it. Be blessed.
Before I let Ari go, I'm going to do this again because it's well deserved. All right, don't speak yet. Hold up. Don't ruin the moment. Sorry, brother. I got to. It's because I love you, man.
The lies for me.
I know, but you believed it for a second. Anywho,
I felt good about myself for a minute.
Like 2.5 seconds. I know you was like, he loves me, and then it was like the truth set in. But anywho, I love what I'm seeing. I don't ever be like, oh, I plan for everybody to start connecting when they get done. But when it happens, it's beautiful because I'm big on the networking aspect and collaboration because, like I said, when I started this show, it was because I was told I couldn't. And now that I can and I do, I believe there's room for everybody to not only work together and grow together, but eat and foster and build something that, like Rika just said, can't be denied. Because it's bigger than what you think it is. When you have the right team behind you and the right people in your corner, there's people who I've met that has taken me places that I couldn't have went on my own. I tell people all the time, I live in Ohio. I haven't left my home during the 2 years of doing this show. I've done one live show at a place, and that was just Friday, one live event. And I've met so many dope people sitting in this basement doing this show. So many dope people all over the world in so many different places that I probably would have never met had I not gotten out of my own way and matured and grown into a better host and a better man and not be petty and not think about the people who doubted me doing this, but thinking about the people who know that I can. And it's those people that I want to thank who believed in me and who saw something that I didn't see in me being able to do this, because it was some straight trash when this show first started. We was talking about any and everything and anybody, and we've been able to grow. But I've saved my spiel because RA is looking very anxious and he wants to talk after I shutted him up. So RA, go ahead for it. Go ahead. You can speak now.
Yo, you can DC is funny. You can follow me at Aye the King on TikTok and also Instagram. Also Geek Salad at Geek Salad Now on TikTok and Instagram as well. Some advice. I mean, y'all probably already know this. You should never trust somebody who wears black Air Force Ones. Like, just as a general rule of thumb, like never trust somebody that wears. Because I mean,
why?
They will smile in your face.
I thought it was gonna be something real motivational. I thought it was gonna be
prophetic.
Like
started so profound.
It's called comedic timing. Okay, I set you up and then I But no, seriously though, everybody wants to focus on what you have. You know, how much money you got, how many cars you got, how many properties you own. You know what I'm saying? How many fancy belts you got. Don't focus on the what. Find what your why is, because your why is going to carry you on those days where you just don't feel like creating anything, where you don't feel like running a business, where you don't feel like being an entrepreneur, or just whatever it is, dope, because y'all do it like a lot of different things. You know what I'm saying? The people watching, I'm sure you have, hopes and dreams, aspirations, things of that nature. You're going to have days where you're less motivated than other days. And that's where you depend on your why. If you don't know what your why is, find out what your why is, and it will carry you creatively through the rest of your life. Now that was the profound thing. That wasn't.
Oh, hell no.
I gotta follow that. That's why I did that, because I gotta follow that. I cannot say enough how proud I am to have had you guys on this show today, and how blessed I am to know that I can reach out to you guys and we can do this again. For just coming on the show for interviews, doing another panel like this, it warms my heart, to use an old Southern term. So I got a bit of housekeeping. I don't really like doing this, but I have to. Recently, this show was ranked number 3 in entertainment news out of 100. To me, that is big. I like to celebrate the small stuff because, again, 2 years ago, I wasn't supposed to be here. I tell people I'm playing with house money. I'm just enjoying what I do. Like Angela said, I get to talk mess. I get to talk a whole bunch of mess and enjoy it and just be honest and be real. And whether people hate me or like me for it, I don't care. You can turn it off at any time, but if you stay, you're gonna get realness. I tell people the same thing. You're gonna get the same show, whether it's one person watching or a million. Because I believe in giving the best show every time. Because it's important. Ari, you just said it, like them days when you're down. I've been down in this game. I felt like quitting this show, other shows that I was on, because I felt like I lose sleep, I sacrifice, and I didn't see it, but I was looking at it wrong. I was looking at, as you just said, what I didn't have and not what I had. I've been blessed to do this. This is episode 75, I believe. Season 6. I'm on my 6th season. 2 years, and I have people coming to me asking me for advice on podcasting. Phenomenal. If you would have told me that when I started, I would have told you were lying, and you need to get your head checked. Just because I didn't know, well, I wouldn't say the power I have, but the ability that I have to do this. Like I said, a lot of people saw stuff in me. I wanted to stay in the background and just kind of be in the shadows and just run the show and, host my own show, but at the same time, make it not about me. But I was pushed into a position that I'm starting to be comfortable with, and that's out front being the leader that I guess I'm supposed to be or whatever. I don't know. But I say that to say all this. It's nothing I'm doing is not attainable for any other podcaster. So if you believe that you can do it, you can do it. Only thing I do is wear a hood and talk mess. Like, I'm not doing nothing special. I'm not doing nothing nobody else in this game can do. But I can tell you one thing that I do that I know a lot of people aren't doing. I don't go to bed till 1 in the morning. I wake up around 4 in the morning, sometimes 3. I don't sleep. I eat, sleep, and live the brand that you guys see in front of you. I'm dedicated to making it work no matter what happens around me. This is what I do. This is what I've become. This is who I am. And it's thanks to people like you guys for giving me that, to have the trust in me to come on. As somebody said something, I don't know about that. Scale that back. Okay, sometimes I can be an asshole, but it's all love. But I'm real with who I am, and I've accepted that. I am who I am. And I'm trying to. Hey man, nobody asked you.
No, It was the movie that was on. It was the Meet the Fockers. Remember the baby? I wasn't. Yeah. That wasn't directed.
Hey. Shut up. Anywho, I really appreciate you guys. I can talk forever, but I'm not going to. I'm not going to tell my little sad story. But like I said, I honestly appreciate it. I appreciate the people who watch. I appreciate the people who listen, who make this show what it is. I stole this line from Jay Moore, but it was so beautiful. I have to say it. It's not me, it's we. I am nothing without the people who give their time, who come on this show and allow me to sometimes grill them and ask them questions and be a part of the show. Nothing without the people who support and follow and share and like and just listen. It makes me proud. Because like I said, this show wasn't supposed to be, it wasn't supposed to be growing like it is. Having dope people like you guys on, me meeting you guys wasn't supposed to happen. None of this was supposed to happen. It was just supposed to be a show that comes on Sunday, then people listen and maybe watch for like 2 seconds and turn it off and go do something else. But it has grown into something that I am truly at a loss for words for sometimes, that people actually want to come on this show now is amazing. Because I will tell you, this first season I couldn't buy guests. Like, I couldn't get people to come on to save my life. I couldn't get somebody, like, even if I was like, hey man, I got $5, just, give me 5 seconds. It was just like, nah, I'm cool, G. I'm gonna go watch my cat cough up a hairball. Like, that just sounds so much better. But it was the perseverance of my personality that wouldn't let me quit. No matter how many times I said I was going to quit, I never quit. I'm addicted to doing this. I am addicted to the high of talking to people and getting the energy and feeling the honest respect that they have. Except for Ari, I know it's kind of fake. It's manufactured. He just do it because he feels like he has to.
You're gonna have to see me when I come to Cleveland, bro. I'm just saying. You're gonna have to see
I
me.
will take you out for a nice steak, sir. Don't you ever. But no, man. Honestly, I would be nothing without the people who support this, and the people who do this. Shout out to my guys, Chris and Courtney. It's just, I don't know, man. I want to thank you guys for coming on. I appreciate your time, your stories, your wisdom. And if nobody else tells you this, you will always have a home here on What the Shit. Always welcome. All right. The ladies want you back, so I'm gonna give you that. I can do without you, but that's neither here nor there.
Lies.
You're like a younger brother I will always want to not have. But anywho, you guys are amazing. The work that you guys do is dope. The presence that you guys have inspires me. Just watching you guys and just looking at what you guys do leading up to this show, it's amazing. And somehow I put a smiley face up. Somebody has hacked my account. Oh, we've been hacked. Oh, Jesus, no. I never wanted to be big enough to where I got hacked, but there I am. But you guys are amazing. To the people who are watching, thank you. If you don't have your hands on your keyboard, please give these ladies a round of applause. They are so dope. And again, I cannot thank you guys enough for being here. If you guys need anything, please do not hesitate. I don't sleep, so I literally have nothing to do at night. So I'm literally just waiting on stuff to do. So, is that. Again, I can go on and on because I enjoy doing this, but I'm not going to. But definitely love having you guys on. Definitely love connecting and hearing you guys. Again, I'm never not available for anybody. And I'm always here. The door is always open. You guys, like I said, have a home here. You guys are special. You guys are important to me. And I want to see everybody win because I'm so not used to
DC, I'm telling you, the Apollo man about to come out in a minute.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
DC, he about to said it 8 times. He about to come out.
You guys are amazing again.
And I'm just letting you know what's about to happen. I just wanted to make it clear. So when it happens,
I got one more. I got one more.
Where the cane at? Get the cane.
Wrap that up, B.
This is it.
They about to play your Oscar music.
About to smack RA. But anywho, again, you guys have a home. I will always promote what you guys got going on. Inbox me if you need anything. Always available. The door is always open. Thank you. Good night. Love you guys. Thank you for coming. To the people who watch, this show will be live on Opolis Radio. I got to thank our sponsors there, Opolis Radio, WMIC, and Ford Media TV Hub. We are also a brand ambassador for React Activewear. If you use the code WTS, you guys can get 10% off. I wish it was more, but I'm just starting out. But thank you to those guys. Thank you to you guys, and appreciate it. Good night.